The big picture, or the main point that the author seemed to keep touching back on throughout this chapter on AIDS, was how it's transmitted. It seemed there seemed to be a lot of. It seemed like each chapter touched on one aspect of how AIDS had been transmitted, be it through sexual intercourse or needles. It seemed that um, needles was a big issue and possibly one of the main culprits for AIDS spreading so quickly, especially during a time when I can't remember the exact era, but this was something I found pretty interesting, was that um, a lot of scientists and physicians were treating people for diseases. They were really on top of treating diseases like malaria, and they were injecting vaccines via needles, except disposable needles hadn't been developed yet. So they were reusing needles on many, many patients and probably not sterilizing them properly. Um, and so that led to the uh, more and more people getting infected with the AIDS virus. So that was interesting to think about, and I hadn't realized that AIDS was such a recent development in terms of diseases. A lot of the other diseases we learned about were from way back beyond science, even, and so it's sort of eyebrow raising to think that diseases are still developing, and not only that, but diseases like AIDS don't have a cure. There's only treatment. So I think maybe that's another reason why the author was driving home the point about um, it's AIDS being transmitted by fluids. I think that was something he was really trying to run home to get everybody to realize that it's not just a sexually transmitted disease. It's a disease that's transmitted by bodily fluids, and there's a lot of ways that that can happen. So it seemed to me that he was trying to inform the reader um, on the many different ways that this disease can be transmitted.